Okay friends, this is Move Your Asana, which is a fusion of mat Pilates and barre and athletic strength and a little bit of yoga flow. It's a non-impact class. Today is totally optional to have little sliders or gliders. So if you're working on a rug or carpet, you actually need plastic lids, 2 of them, or even paper, pieces of paper work, to be honest, or cardboard works great. If you're on hard surface like I'm going to be, you need either socks on or just washcloths. That's it. 2 little weights, again, are optional. I'm working with 3-pound weights. A little reminder, if you're working with glass bottles, just be really careful, to keep a good grip on them. So we're just gonna start at the top of your area right now. Give yourself, a foot of space. If you're on a yoga mat, just from a foot back from the top of your area. Let's just get here. Close your eyes, seal your lips if you can. Your feet are hip bone width apart, so if you're not used to the setup, just put your fingers on your hip points. Line your second toes pointing forward underneath those hip points. Let your hands dangle by your side. All right, exhale out whatever air you've got right now. Take a big breath. As you inhale, allow your belly to expand, your ribs to move side to side and front to back. Maybe your heart will lift outward. And then as you exhale, slowly just feel the energy seeping down your body into the earth. So we're going to be really connected here. Inhale again from the soles of your feet all the way up, that nice belly breath. Maybe you can feel yourself growing taller. And then when you are exhaling, just imagine energy moving down through your feet, connecting you to the earth, to our world. One more time, inhale. Maybe you'd like to set an intention on this inhale about how you want to feel during this class or move about the rest of your day. And then on this exhale, send that intention out to your space and then our collective space here today. Really, really nice. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them. I want you to contract your quadriceps and glutes gently. You have a neutral spine. Your abdominals are pulling in. As you inhale, shrug your shoulders literally up to your ears. And then as you exhale, glide them down, 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 down. That should just be too low usually. And so on your next inhalation, let them float up gently. Send your hands back a couple inches so you feel your triceps engaged. Take one breath here, just feeling this strength, this security, stability. And then drop into one squat as we start. Look down, make sure your knees are still tracking over your second toes. Neutral spine, your low back, mid back, and neck. Stand on up. Again, maintain the natural curve of your back, and then down and up. So in Move Your Asana, I really take the time to not only set your foundation, your posture, your standing posture, but also get you nice and warm, top to bottom, but more importantly from the inside out. So I really want you to connect your mind to your body as you move rather than just going through the motion. So every time you stand up, you're feeling that little contraction of your quadriceps, quads and glutes, thighs, booty. Your abdominals are already engaged. And there really is no hip shift. So make sure your hips aren't pushing forward. They're staying underneath the ribs and the shoulders and your head. Just do 2 more for me. Nice. On your last one, hold down right there. Right arm is going to open up out to the side. Keep your knees and hips steady. Exhale, close. Try that left arm. Inhale, open, and closed. You can follow your hand with your eyes if you'd like. That's totally optional. I really want you to stabilize through your legs and your pelvis. So what helps is to energetically hug your feet. I'm doing it right now. Hug the feet in like you're trying to wrinkle the mat if you have a mat beneath your feet. So my knees are not knocking and they're not shifting either. So if you want to peek down every once in a while to make sure your knees aren't moving forward and back, that means your hips are moving. We're trying to separate the upper body from the lower body. You're going to do maybe 2 more on each side. And I really want your chest to be rotating. So it's not just the arm going out to the side. I want your chest rotating. One hand or arm is going to shift forward. Yeah, that's your last one right there. Really, really nice. So as you stand up, I want you to go right into a double backstroke today. You're going to sit and then double backstroke. On this double arm circle, see if you can do that without blowing out the chest. So you're absolutely squeezing flexing your back body, your glutes especially, so that you stand up nice and tall. And if you want to lift the heart, great, but you should not feel any dumping or munching in the lower back. So there's no pinching here. You're actually trying to get more length from your hip bone to your ribs every time you rise up. Maybe you're doing big arm circles today. I'm not. My shoulder's a little owie today. 2 more. Nice, just like that. All right, hands are in front. Now I want you to come up with a left arm backstroke and a right arm backstroke. A little faster than we normally move. Just a little bit. But again, that's your option. So if you were playing music at home, you can match your movement to the beat and your breath. But remember, alignment and form is priority always. So if you start to get out of control, just slow things down. Nice. 1 more on each side. Beautiful. Perfect. All right, let's go right up. Hands go over your head. Front ribs knit in, shoulders are down. Come up off the heels. Make sure ankles are pulling inward, and then set your heels down. We're going to do 10 more of those. Inhale, exhale. Yep. If your shoulders feel a little tight today, maybe you bend your elbows. Maybe you don't. It's up to you. Nice, just a couple more. We're gonna hold the up. We're gonna hold that calf raise nice and high. Soften through the face, the neck. Try to pull that energy in from the middle of your body, your core, so abdominals, your back muscles, your glutes, inner thighs are working. Nice, from here, set the heels down. Let the hands float a little lower than the shoulders, just for now. Now check this out. We usually do this a little later, but I want to do this now. You're going to hinge forward, straighten your legs, so you have a neutral spine. So if you're super flexy in the hamstrings, you might be a lot lower than I am. I'm going to be up a little higher today. I'm still hugging my feet in. You're going to take your arms out to a T or a rear fly and lower. You're exhaling when you lift, inhaling when you lower your hands. So just getting a little bit of heat, a little wake-up call for the rear part of our shoulders, our rear delts, trying to maintain the natural curves of our back. Just notice if you're the person, because I am personally, that your head hangs forward. So try to move that jawline back. I'm definitely hugging my feet. That really helps me feel more stable in this hinge. 2 more like that. Holding the arms out just for a moment, pulsing right there, breathe. If you're feeling some tightness in your hamstrings, you might notice I have a micro bend of my knees. So if you need to bend them even more, that's totally fine. Priority is a nice long spine. I could put that broomstick on your back for 4 only. 3, perfect. 2. All right, hands float down. As you come up to standing, arms come back. So we're just gonna be moving now in and out from that hinge. Exhale. Good, inhale, hinge. And exhale, squeezing quadriceps and glutes at the top. So you should be feeling a tiny bit of stretch and a tiny bit of contraction in your back body right now. Specifically, that hamstring to glute attachment. 2 more only. Nice, you guys. We're gonna hit the floor to continue our floor warm up. Next one, you're holding up right here. Inhale, hands to the sky, maybe smile. Exhale, forward fold all the way down, all the way down. Your fingers are gonna meet the top of your mat, so a little bit away from your toes. Go ahead and bend your knees deeply. Exhale here. As you inhale, let your head dangle and straighten your legs to your degree. Bend and straighten. You can go fast, you can go slow. While you're doing this, can you keep your shoulders drawing back to your back pockets? So your shoulders are not up by your ears. Exhale to bend, inhale for length. Just feeling out how your low back is, your hamstrings and glutes. 1 more just like that. Go ahead and put the hands in the crooks of your elbows very passively and sway side to side. If that's okay on your lower back. Be really, really careful if you have any disc issues. Couple more sways. Sway yourself to center. Bend the knees deeply. Again, foundation, all 10 fingers on the mat, shoulder width apart, step your feet back one by one, hip width. I want you to hold this high plank. All right, listen carefully. Point your finger and thumbs into the mat. I know I say that all the time, but now stay there. Energetically, can you externally rotate? Can you try to screw your hands apart? Your hands might move a millimeter. I'm just exaggerating. So you're gonna feel a little more connection in your lats and also in your chest to hold this, your shoulders nice and stable. Keep breathing. I want you to micro bend your knees one at a time. Now, if you're on your knees to modify, that's great. You're on your knees, you're curling your heels to your seat, and you're curling one heel in at a time. So your choice. Breathing, breathing, breathing. You're still trying to externally rotate those hands, resisting against the ground for 10. Good job. 9, you got this. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, nice and easy. Set the knees down. Sit back in child's pose, just 2 breaths right here. Maybe you turn your thumbs up to the sky and lift your elbows. As you inhale your second time, let your belly expand, ribs expand. Nice, listen carefully. So you're in your child's pose. My knees are a little bit open. Foundation, your hands flat if you change the hand position. You're gonna shift forward. You can lift your toes up if you need to, but I want you to drop into a knee push-up. Sit back, child's pose, exhale. You can absolutely have your toes pointed, whatever works for your kneecaps and your body. Inhale and exhale. So pretty light right here. You don't have to go deep. If you need to modify for strength reasons or structural reasons, that's great. You can just do a little pulse. If you're working on more range of motion, I want you to stop about halfway. So you're not belly to the ground. 2 more. Yes. It should be kind of light-ish. 1 more, depending on what you did yesterday. Good job right there. We're gonna do a quick set of abdominals. Yep, right at the top of the class. So go ahead and spin your feet around if you need to. Man, I'm sweating already. Wiping the sweat. You don't need any equipment. Just wiping off some water. So feet together. Let's go knees open to start. Free up your hip flexors. Hands on your outer thighs. Go ahead and lift your chest nice and tall so you're in a neutral spine just for a breath. Now exhale, deliberately contract your abdominals down. So it's very conscious of that contraction. If you want to lift your toes up, fine. You're pushing your hands in, or excuse me, your thighs into your hands in your thighs. You're getting really hollow and concave in the belly. Keep breathing. So just activating our outer hips and glutes with a little bit of flexion for your anterior core, which is abdominals primarily. 5, 4, you got it. 3, 2, nice, right there. Go ahead and take another tip of the pelvis, belly button dropping down. If you can, release one hand. I'm gonna go right hand, but any hand you want. Make sure that arm bone's back, move the jaw back, and you're gonna lift and lower. I'm still pushing my left thigh into my left hand, by the way. And if you have both hands on, great. Keep going for 5 like that. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take another tip of the tuck of the tailbone, belly button drawing down. This right arm or your floating arm is going to open out to the right. You can follow it with your gaze and then close. Inhale, open. If you have both hands on your thighs, you're just rotating your chest to that one side. So open, tuck your tail, close. Open, tuck your tail, close. You might be tucking the whole time. I'm just saying that for insurance. Good. 1 more. You're gonna open up this arm out to the side. I'm still pushing my opposite knee into my hand. And then I'm gonna press back, back, back. Abs in really, really, really tight. 8 more. 7, 6, nice. 5, 4, 3, 2, hand goes back. So actually get a grip on your thighs. Take a moment if you're a self. Shake your head out, no. Shake your head, yes. I am raring to go. All right, tuck under once again. Second hand if you're doing individual arms, you don't have to. And you're just lifting and lowering. So if you have both hands on your thighs, still cool, still great. Make sure that your torso is actually lifting and lowering, not just your head going back and forth like a woodpecker. 4 more. 3, 2, I'm squeezing my heels really, really tight. All right, tip under 1 more time. A lot of stretch in the low back. Your left arm goes left. Maybe you look at your hand. You tend to get a little bit more rotation when you look. So if you're holding on to both thighs, definitely look the direction you're rotating. So as my left arm opens, I tuck my tail, I contract my abdominals as the arm comes in. I'm still pressing really hard, actually. Right hand into right thigh. 2 more like that, and then we'll start. Nice. Left arm, open it out to the side, tuck under, breathe, arm presses back, back, back. I'm pushing my right thigh into my right hand like crazy, resisting for 5, 4, nice, 3, 2, and 1. Good job, team. Cross your ankles, hands go forward, step your feet back, downward dog. I just want us to stretch out our hip flexors really quick. So this is gonna look like yoga. I want you to inhale your left leg to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip. We're not going anywhere, we're just staying here. See if you can keep your shoulders square to the front of your mat. So your left knee is up, but your left shoulder is not up. Breathe. Take 1 more inhalation. Straighten out the leg, just float it down next to that right foot, no big deal. All right, take your right foot up in the air, bend the knee, open the hip. First, get the hip nice and high, tuck your left glute under, and then send that right shoulder down. So shoulders are parallel to the top edge of the mat. Take 1 more breath there. Straighten the leg, inhale, exhale, float right next to left, nice job. From here, bend the knees into crouching cat. And then as you exhale, find your high plank again. So shoulders over the crease of the wrist, and then we're gonna go back and forth. Bend the knees deeply, wide sits bones, crouching cat. Exhale, shoot forward. Inhale, exhale. Let's just do 4 more, then we'll get onto our feet. 3 more, neck nice and long. Finishing up 1 more, depending on your speed. Press back down dog. Inhale, heels to the sky. Exhale, soften the knees and take a baby walk to the top of your mat. I'm wiping my sweat. Reach for your weights on the way up, and then slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Nice. Alrighty, so I'm gonna scoot my mat out to the side. So I'm totally taking my mat aside because I'm gonna be using my washcloths. But if you're just stepping today, you can stay on your mat, no problem. So I'm gonna have both of my gliders underneath just my toes. So if you're new to working with gliders, your entire foot is not on them, just the balls of the feet. All right, feet hip width apart. Get that nice standing posture, take a breath. We're gonna go into a little lunge series here, working with individual legs. I want you to bend your elbows in half like a robot, like you're holding a tray, but it's hammer position, so fingers pointing in. Easy stuff. Your right arm goes up, your left arm goes back like you're running. So you have 90-degree angles in your arms. Notice if your hips moved. I want your hips nice and square to the front of your area. And then switching, take that left arm forward, and then keep moving now like you're just running your arms, okay? Now that you've got your arms moving, can you rotate your chest to the side? So notice one shoulder really goes forward, the other shoulder pulls back. But I'm not letting my hips swing and sway. So I'm hugging the ground beneath my feet, and I'm trying to literally separate my upper body movement from that stable lower body movement. So lower body's not moving. All right, you got this? You got it. Okay, so let's keep our right arm up in front, Now you're gonna slide your left foot back and then switch arms. So I'm gonna slide my left foot to a 90-90 lunge as my left arm goes forward. My chest is rotated towards my front thigh, yep. And then I'm sliding it back up, and I just have my heel popped of that moving leg, yep. Here we go. So running man arms, as you go down and as you come up. When you come up, peek down and see if your hips are nice and parallel to the front of your mat. They're not over rotating. I was doing that when I was practicing earlier. They're not over rotating and they're not under rotating. Their hip isn't pulled backwards behind you either. So when you're down in that lunge, and you can go faster than I'm going, when you're down the lunge, make sure the knee first stays over the center of your foot, that front knee. Yes. And you're really rotating your chest. So when I'm down, my left shoulder is way forward of my right shoulder, and vice versa at the top. Yep. Now adding one more little piece to this, just a baby piece. When you stand up, my right arm's forward, my left elbow's back. Can you send that left hand back and do like a tricep extension? And I'm rotating, my thumb is almost pointing up to the sky. That's how much I'm rotating. So then when you're down, same thing. That right arm goes back. So that's all you're changing. So imagine, if you will, you're sprinting down the street or down the beach. This is what your chest and probably your arms are gonna look like. If you are like running from the zombie apocalypse or something, you would be going for it. Your arms would not stay bent. That one in the back would be like, trying to help you out. So yes, your right thigh, your right glute is the one that's probably feeling it right now. Let's do 2 more. Awesome job. All right, one more. I want you to hold down. Hold down in that 90-90 lunge position. Check me out. I'm gonna put the left hand on the ground. I have a fist. If you can't keep a fist, if you can't, you can let go of the weight. It's totally up to you. Totally up to you. All right, so my left knee is underneath the left hip floating. If it's too much for you, you set it on the ground, okay? Here's the right arm moving. I want you to peel up, or just pull your elbow up and down. Now look back and try to make sure your right and left hip are in the same line. So you could balance a drink on your back. So you're just doing a baby row. I know this is crazy light. Do 2 more for me. 1 more. Listen up. Hold the elbow up. Extend that right arm to the sky and straighten out your leg in the back. So this looks like yoga, right? It's a revolved runner's lunge. You can even look to the side, breathe. Your front knee still over the foot. We're gonna move back and forth now. So you're gonna take this arm, if you can keep it straight, or you can bend it through, bend the left knee, and then you reach up as you straighten the leg behind you. So I'm kind of peeling this arm up. This is not my great shoulder, so I'm having to really be careful. If you have heavier weights, please bend your elbow on the way up. If you're holding nothing or a 1 pound weight, you can take your arm out to the side and rotate. Keep going. So as my arm comes up to the sky, my leg extends back behind me. You have 4 more. 4 like that. And 3. Woo, good job, you guys. I say it easy. 2. 1 more good one. Nice. Put your hands on the ground. You can either hold the weights or not. I'm gonna let go of my weight. Don't worry about, well, you need your glider in that right foot. So I'm sending that right foot back. I'm gonna mirror you guys now. That right foot goes out to the side, in, and forward into that runner's lunge. So it goes back, out, in, slide forward. If you don't have gliders, you're just stepping. It's back, out, in, back, out, in, slide forward. Do 2 more for me. 1 more like that. Hold that runner's lunge. So your right foot is forward again. Reach for your weights. That's always optional, but I'm reaching for my weights. Contract your abdominals. Your elbows come up like a row. You come up into crescent. Reach your arms over your head, and then elbows pull to the ribs and press. You're in a crescent lunge, and you're basically doing a W press. So elbows come down by your ribs, palms are up. Your right knee's bent. 2 more, and then we're gonna bend and straighten. We're gonna straighten the left leg, or right leg, excuse me, front leg. Ready? Arms come up, straighten out your front leg. Careful if your feet are on gliders. 2 more. Nice. 1 more like that. Hold the bend of the front knee. Hinge forward into that hinged warrior. Send your hands back in airplane, ready for triceps. You're gonna lift and lower. Exhale, that's you breathing. While we're doing this, every time you lift your arms, your back foot steps or glides in, and then lower. Straight arms, abs in tight. Yes, that right leg, it's been working for about 6 minutes now. Maybe longer for 5 more reps. Come on. 4, 3, 2, 1. Crescent lunge, arms go up overhead. Inhale, exhale, bend the elbows, set your weights on the ground. From here, tent your fingers. Slide your back foot in. Your left toes, your back toes are turned to about, 10 o'clock or so. Pyramid stretch for that right hammy. So exhale and move that left hip forward. Pull the right hip back. Having your hands on the ground might be too much. It is for me today. So I'm gonna walk my hands up to my shin. Maybe you're gonna walk your hands up to your quadricep, not the knee, the quadricep. Everybody inhale, get longer in your spine. Enjoy that opening in the hamstring. Exhale, fold. Whether you put your hands lower or not, you're folding over the right leg. Beautiful, you guys. Your right foot still forward just for a hot second, just to get your hands down on the ground. Slide that right foot back. Toes or knees, it's your push-up any way you can. You don't need any weights, you don't need any gliders or anything. I just happen to have my feet on gliders. Ready? Let's do 20 of them, 20 push-ups. Down, exhale, up. Inhale, exhale, that's 2. Inhale, exhale, 3. If you're on your knees, you can have your heels up. Push-ups are just moving planks. So make sure you've got that nice alignment from the crown of your head to your tailbone, to your knees or heels. You're about halfway there depending on your speed. You can absolutely do this on your toes if you're keeping that nice alignment. When you bend your elbows, maybe think of contracting your abs. When you straighten your arms, maybe think of squeezing your glutes. You have 5 or 6 more depending on your speed. Push with your thumbs. You got it, gang. Stay with me. Let's go 2 more if you're with me. Keep breathing. Nice. Everybody sit back, child's pose, wipe some sweat if you need to. It might just be me. On this set, karate chop hands, just like we did before. Thumbs up, lift your elbows. 2 breaths into your belly. So inhale, let the belly expand. Feel the ribs moving into your thighs, side to side. Feel your upper back, your mid back, your lower back expand outward on the inhale. Slow that exhale. Good job, you guys. Press up onto your hands and your knees. You're pushing into a downward dog. You can stay on your spot. I gotta do this on the mat or I'm gonna slide out. Down dog. Inhale your heels to the sky. Exhale, bend the knees, walk your feet forward. Reach for your weights, roll on up. Again, nice job. I gotta get my stuff back. So go ahead and find your gliders if you're using them today. So we're doing all that on the second leg. First leg was the right, we're moving to our left, okay? Or you just do you. Feet hip width apart. Find that nice standing posture. So I'm hugging my feet energetically in. On my inhales, I'm trying to get long and feel this, almost a separation between each vertebra. Just think about that. Nice. All right, bend your elbows like a robot. Hips stay steady, knees point forward. And you're gonna start just moving your arms in that running position, keeping the elbows bent to start. So while this looks like a very simple movement, you're tightening everything from the middle outward. So there's a lot going on here. Nice. Are you keeping your hips and pelvis steady as that one shoulder really rotates forward? So I'm not just moving my arms without my shoulders push. One's pushing forward, one's pulling backwards, yeah? Nice. 2 more. I'm hugging my feet so tight that my legs are shaking right now. Might be excessive. All right, so now I want you to start with your left hand up to the sky, right hand back, your elbows are bent. And now you're gonna slide that right foot back. That right arm goes forward. Take a second down here. Make sure that back knee's underneath the hip, your front knee's over your ankle. You're rotating your chest across your thigh, and then slowly either stepping or dragging, if you're on gliders, that back foot forward. So you bend the knee. You really that's what I like about using sliders or gliders, is you don't have to think as much about activating your front hamstring and butt. If you're gliding, if you're pulling your back toes forward, which is what I cue when you guys are just on solid ground, you're getting it. Nice. So when I drag my back foot forward underneath my hip, you can keep your heel popped up if you'd like, optional. All right, adding on a little bit more, which is that tricep. So at the top, my left arm is forward, my right arm is back, and look how much I'm rotating almost my palm up to the sky back there. And then I'm gonna switch as I lunge, and now my left hand is just as rotated. That straight arm in the back. But don't let that sacrifice your rotation. I know we got a lot going on here, you gotta think about a lot. So get the rotation first, and then straighten the arm and really engage that tricep. Yes, your feet are still hip bone width apart. So again, notice if your feet are touching one another, that means you're probably a little too narrow. You are a little too narrow. You can absolutely go faster than I'm moving, of course. Good, 2 more. I know this is a long set of lunges. It's good for you. This next one, hold down right here. Breathe. You're still pulling this front heel back. You're sending this right hand down. Option to put your knee on the mat. You don't have to. Now before we do the elbow, the left elbow row, can you pick up your right hip a little bit so your pelvis is nice and parallel to the ground? And then do this baby row. So once again, I'm rotating my chest to the left, that direction of the front thigh, but I'm trying not to move my hips. So I'm trying to keep that right hip elevated because it wants to fall down for sure. If this is too much for you, you can set your back knee on the mat, absolutely. Now first practice the arm. You can, if you have a heavier weight or you just want to, elbow comes first and then you open the arm in this rotated lunge, and then you peel down the same way. If your weight is lighter, by all means, you can do this kind of a rear fly. And now the leg extends back behind you if you haven't already when the hand is up, and it pulls into that 90-degree angle when it's down. So that's the full shebang. You're rotated, and then get back to neutral and squared pelvis. You rotate, the hand that's on the ground is probably your right hand. Should be really pushing. I'm using my weight on this side, so I'm a little more elevated. But you're pushing your hand down to rotate that chest. You do not need to look up at the sky unless you really are dying to do that. You don't need to. It's a little munchy on the neck for a lot of people. 2 more only. You guys are doing awesome. 1 more, stay with me. Carefully float the hand down. You can keep your hands on the weights, you can ditch them, you can tense your fingers, you can go flat palms. This front foot, your left foot, I'm gonna keep my weights, is gonna slide back into a plank. It opens out to the side, it comes back into plank, and then slides or steps forward. So if you don't have gliders, you're stepping. That's your move. Slide it back, open, close, forward, do your best. Back, open, close, neutral neck, neutral head. Nice job, 1 more like that. Keep that left foot forward, front foot forward. Reach for your weights if you do not have them. Do a row, Hinge up into crescent lunge. Send your arms over your head. Smile. Pick up that right hip a little bit. Pull your elbows down to your ribs. So you're literally, your triceps are on your sides. And then press up into that W press. Inhale down. Exhale, press. Front knee still over the center of your foot. Yes. 3 more, and then we straighten the leg with the arms. 1 more like that. All right, straighten out your front leg. When the arms go up, bend your elbows in your front knee. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. That's your rest, by the way. 3 more. You're doing great, everybody. 2 more. Woo, helps for me to smile. Let's go. Up. All right, you're bending your elbows. You're gonna hinge forward. I'm turning the side for you to see me. Hands back behind you. Straight arm lifts, if you'd like, to be different than that first set. Palms facing the ground. Hold for a moment. Can you sweep your hips around to the right? So that left hip is behind the left knee. Now continue with the lifting and lowering. Now, every time you lift your arms, your back foot slides in and then down. So it's a little slower. If you need to soften your elbows, if this is pulling your shoulders forward, if you cannot keep your chest open, essentially bend your elbows a lot and do kickbacks. So that's your option. That's your option. Go 5 more. The low front thigh. 4, 3, 2, hold back, 1 crescent lunge, smile. Exhale, careful, put your hands on the ground. I'm taking my hands off the weights. Slide or step that front foot back. Put your knees on the ground. Do a quick child's pose. Do 2 breaths in child's pose. Take it, enjoy it. That's more for me than for you to wipe all the sweat because I'm slipping. All right, nice job. So from here, if you have your sliders, you're gonna take them to your hands. You're gonna take them to your hands. I'm gonna go sideways so my knees are padded because I'm gonna be on my knees for sure. All righty, you've seen this before. Gliders under each hand. If you're not using them, it doesn't matter. It's totally cool. So here, back of the head of the sky, your hands are a little wider than the shoulders already. You're gonna come down into a traditional push-up position. As you exhale, slide your hands under the shoulders. So they came in for me about 3 inches. You're sliding out, inhale, exhale. If you do not have gliders, you can just do regular push-ups, or you step your hands out, walk them in, walk them out, or you can jump them in. If you're okay with that, you can jump your hands in and out. That depends on your wrists, depends on your strength. Keep going, guys. You can just do traditional push-ups, even on your toes. I can't do the slides on my toes or I fall on my face, so congrats if you can do that. Keep breathing, hollow out your waist. Let's go 5 more, yes you can. 4, abs in tight. Don't compromise your plank. 3, 2, 1 more like that. Nice job, sit back. Child's pose, wipe some sweat. Whatever you need to do, grab a quick sip of water. I'm gonna do a quick sip, excuse me. You got 15 seconds. Woo, nice job, you guys. We're going under our backs, that's the good news. So you do need your weights, you do not need your gliders. I'm putting out my mat again. Weights are optional. All right, yep, this is real life, sweating like a pig. All right, I'll turn to the side a little bit so you can see me from the side. Feet can be hip width or knees open if you have some hip flexor sensitivities. Go ahead with your weights, holding onto your thighs. I want you to tuck your tail around a little bit back. You should be on your sacrum, so it shouldn't feel owie, okay? Meaning if your tailbone hurts right now, pad yourself up. Belly button down. Bring your elbows into your waist. Roll the shoulders slightly back. Move your jaw back. We're just gonna do these little kickstand curls for a moment. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Remember, if your hip flexors light up, take your knees open a little or a lot. I'm gonna keep my feet flat. 5, 4, 3. We're gonna do some punches if you can. 2. Tip your hips under, belly button down, bring your hands a little higher, and nice and slow, nice and slow. Sometimes in my other classes we do this fast. Nope, not today. Slow, slow. So you've got the arms going probably. Weights are optional, by the way. Now notice, are your hips moving around? When I punch my left hand, my left hip moves forward. When I punch my right hand, my right hip moves forward. Now I don't want you to do that. I want you to really anchor. So I'm gonna pull back. When I punch left, I pull my left hip back. When I punch right, I pull my right hip back. Go slow so you can actually do that. Connect your mind to your body. Stabilize that pelvis. If this is too much for you, 1, ditch the weights. 2, you can just hold on like we did earlier and rotate. Light grip on the thighs and rotate. Keeping your pelvis, your knees. Your knees are a good indicator. If your knees are shifting, your hips are shifting. 10, slow. 9, yes. 8, 7, rolling under our back. In 6, 5, good job. 4, 3, beautiful gang. 2, and 1, nice work. Carefully roll back onto your back with your weights. Now we are letting go of those hip flexors, knees open up to lying butterfly, Supta Baddha Konasana. Hands are up. Fingers are facing inward, soft elbows. So you're in a fly position over the chest. Take your right arm out to the side. Notice if your left hip pops up and slowly bring it in. Now these are light, right? So we're not gonna go big range for very long. I just want you to feel how possibly you're gonna have to counterbalance your body, even with these baby weights. Breathing. Start to slide your feet a little bit down further. Your knees are still open in a diamond, but they're not as close as in that butterfly position. All right, you're still alternating. I want you to finish with your right arm out to the side, hovering. Breathe, exhale, contract your abdominals, keep breathing. Now, all you're going to do is pick up your left foot. That's your opposite foot. You're gonna straighten out that left leg diagonally out to the left side. And as you pulse your right arm, your left leg also pulses. Yes, breathe. So I have, my foot is externally rotated, meaning I'm working more my adductors on my left, not just, of course you're gonna a little bit of quad, but a little bit of quad, not top of the thigh. So your instep of your foot is facing the sky. The good news is your head gets to be down. Breathe for 10, 9, 8, we're gonna go bigger. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, now go a little bit bigger. Go 1 foot up, don't lose that contraction though, and then down. If you go up too high, if your foot's over your hip, you just lose it, right? I know. I know the tricks. Keep your left leg totally straight. So I'm lifting, pausing, lowering, pausing. It's not a fall. You're resisting on the way down. You have 4 more only on this leg. 4, there is no hold. And 3. Nice, you guys. 2, come on, 1 more only. Nice, bend your knees. Just bring your, bend your elbows and put your weights on your chest for a moment. Seal your lips, feel your breath. Just for fun, 1 or 2 weights. I want you to literally place them on your belly. Now, clearly, if you have 10-pound weights, this is not you. I've got 3-pound weights. So I have 6 pounds on my belly right now. If you have wine bottles, just hold them gently so they don't roll off. Now, as you inhale, I want you to feel those weights lift. So working on the first part of a diaphragmatic breath, which is from the belly or diaphragm. 2 more, this is just for fun. This is actually a good training tool. Usually we do this with a book or something, but a weight works. 1 more. So just make a mental note if that was easy for you to lift and lower your weights, or if it was challenging. It's something you might need to work on. All right, hands back up in the air, soft elbows, you're in a fly position. Your left arm, your second arm now goes out to the side. Breathe. Start to pulse, just get a feel for this, just with the arm. 5 like that, right hip stays glued down to the mat. 2, 1, hold. Now you're gonna straighten, you're gonna lift your right foot first, then straighten your right leg out completely, and then you continue to pulse that left fly with your right adductor. Now, for me personally, on this left leg, or it's my left leg, but for you, right? For this leg, for me, for whatever reason, after like 3 pulses, I like to bend my elbow because my knee to make it easier. So I'm really fighting to keep this leg straight. So just notice what is going on with you. Lift and lower. Belly button pulling down, taking the stress out of your face, your neck. You don't need to lift your head. We've got 2 more like this. Now you're going a little bigger. We're going about a foot or so up with your arm and your leg, and then down. Woo. You got this. Slow and controlled, using the muscles, not momentum. I'm getting a little shaky shake. Clearly this leg of mine is the weaker of the bunch, of the 2. Keep going. Nice, you guys. You got this. Stay with it. Stay with it. Go 4 more. Slow and controlled. Feel that contraction before you resist down. 2 more depending on your speed. Good job, good job. Last one. There is no hold. Carefully. Bend the knees. Weights go back to your chest. Just one nice little breath here. Extend your legs all the way down. Take your weights out to the side. Place them on the ground. Arms go overhead, wall-to-wall stretch. Big wall-to-wall stretch. Enjoy it. Nice. Arms go to a T. We're going to do that T abdominal back stretch. So it's abdominal work, back stretch. Listen carefully. I'm mirroring you guys. Your left knee comes up. Exhale it across. Inhale, center. Exhale down. Right knee up. Inhale, exhale it across, center and down. 2 more on each side. Inhale, exhale, rotate, relax your shoulders. Inhale, center, exhale, down. If your shoulder pops up, it's totally okay. It's not the end of the world. Just let your body do what it wants to do. 1 more on each side. You got it. This is sort of a little reset here for the body. Nice job, everybody. Couple rock and rolls right where you are. We're going to come down to the ground, but not yet. We're doing a little flow here. Cross your ankles, hands press forward, shoulder width apart, step your feet back. Easy little yoga deal. Feet hip width apart. So 2 breaths in downward dog. Micro bend your knees if you have tight hamstrings. Point your finger thumbs anchored into the mat. Spin the eyes of your elbows forward. Maybe you're hugging your feet in. Maybe you're trying to move your feet energetically side to side to feel your outer hips and glutes. Your next inhalation, send your left leg to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip like we did earlier. 1 breath. As you exhale, bring that left knee forward through your forearms. Step that left foot forward. So you're in a runner's lunge right there. Inhale, open up, just like we did earlier with the weights. Open up over that left thigh. Nice. Exhale, hand goes down. Send that left leg to the sky, 3-legged dog. Listen carefully right there. Exhale, same foot. Step the foot outside of the hand, Yep. Bend your right knee to the mat. You're welcome. Point the toes in the back. Let this left knee open up. So you're on the side of your foot, the knife edge of your front foot. Once again, open maybe your elbow or your hand to the sky. Take an inhale. Exhale, hand goes down. Turn the toes forward again. Pick up the back knee, straighten out the back leg. Listen. Put the weight on this inside hand, on your left hand, and open up the right. Nice. 1 more breath in downward dog. All right, second side. Inhale this right leg to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip. 1 breath. As you exhale, bring that knee forward. Step that right foot forward, runner's lunge. Inhale, right hand lifts. Keep that knee over the center of your foot. Exhale, hand goes down. And then move that front foot all the way up, 3-legged dog. Inhale. Now exhale, step that foot outside the hand. Good. left knee goes down, back knee goes down. You can point the toes back there, contract your abdominals, let that knee open, the front knee out to the side. And then right elbow or arm goes up as you rotate towards that open thigh. Yeah. Exhale down, nice job. Turn those right toes, that front foot, the toes point forward, come up off the back knee, and now we're rotating the other direction. So that right shoulder into your right thigh, you let that left elbow reach or open up the hand all the way to the sky. Inhale, get long. So top of the head, your heel, one long line of energy. Exhale the hand down to the mat. Nice job, you guys. Inhale, that right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, right foot next to left foot. Breathe right there. One more breath. Nice. Bend the knees. Float the belly down to the mat. I'm just going to move my mat a little bit at an angle. You guys just go right down onto your belly. You don't need your weights. You don't need your gliders. You don't need anything. So take your arms out like goalposts. So elbows directly out of the line of your shoulder. Thumbs are pointing up. Gaze down. You do not need to see me, most likely. Just look at your mat. Tops of the feet are pressing into the floor, and your feet are hip width apart. Now see if you can spin your pinky toes so they're touching the mat a little bit. That's going to actually give some space into the sacrum. It's going to feel weird for a lot of us. So push the tops of your feet in the mat, pinky toes down, tuck your tail under, contract your abdominals. Keep the tops of the feet pressing the mat as you lift your forearms off the ground. Chest is up, nose is up. You reconnect with your abdominal wall. I want you just to pulse your arms up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, with your elbows bent. With your elbows bent. See if you can mentally connect with your mid-back. So my ladies, it's where your sports bras would be in the back. My guys, it's the base of your shoulder blades. Abdominals are engaged. 10 like that. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, abs crazy tight. 4, 3, we're about to move the arms and the legs. 2, and 1. Go ahead and pull your elbows to your waist, so it's that W position again. Feet float up off the mat, and they're open a little wider than they just were, so probably mat width apart. Reach your hands overhead, so your body's now in an X. You're on your belly still. As you exhale, curl your toes, bend your knees, toes touch over your bum, elbows go to your waist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, reach. You're in an X. And an exhale, elbows bend and knees bend. Your toes touch right over your tailbone. See if you can contract both glutes. If both glutes are firing, not just one. That sounds funny to some of us, but to some people like me, you know what I'm talking about. You have a dominant glute. Keep breathing. Your chest is barely hovering off the mat, so you're not in cobra. One more just like that. One more. Hang in there. You're going to bend your elbows, hold the bent knees, toenails are touching the big toes, contract your abs, send your hands back like airplane, maybe make tight fists, and now the thighs and your legs are lifting and lowering. So you're going to start feeling a little bit more lower back. Contract your abdominals to support your backside. Your glutes are probably on fire. Abs are in tight. Triceps are even still working. Maybe you smile. 10, 9, this is it. 8, 7, good job. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh my gosh, nicely done. Hands under your shoulders. Your knees are still wide. Go ahead and press up on your knees. Sit back in a wide knee child's pose. Yowza. Woo. Just let your elbows relax. Just let this be a little bit more passive here. Big breath into your back. I really want you to stretch your back literally from the inside out, using your lungs to stretch your ribs. Using your lungs, that air, to expand your back body, not just your front body. Go ahead and walk your hands to your right. bump the hips left, and now breathe into that left side. So feel more air, more expansion into the left side of your body, literally. One more on that side, just enjoy it. Go ahead and walk your hands to the left, hips bump right. Breathing into the right side. Feel the separation of the ribs on the right. Feel your skin stretching. Nice, everybody. Hands go forward, pressing up. Just spin your feet around any way you'd like into a comfortable seated position. I want you to straighten your legs out in front of you, hands back behind you, your fingers pointing to the sides, side walls. Thumbs are pointing forward essentially. Inhale, lift your heart, just your heart. You can keep your seat down. Open up that front side a little bit. Nice. We're going to do an easy forward fold. So sit up nice and tall. Maybe you got to bend your knees if you have tight hamstrings. Reach your hands to the sky. Take one inhalation there. As you exhale, keep your knees micro bent if they're already micro bent, and just drape yourself over your thighs. Your toes are still pulling back to your face. And then from here, just your right leg. Straighten out just your right leg. If your legs are already super straight, see if you can contract just your right quadricep. Take one more breath. Nice. Bend that knee, and then go ahead and straighten out your left side or your second side, flexing the quadricep, the thigh muscle. So when you contract one side of your body, like my bicep here, it tells your opposite side to lengthen, right? So we're telling the hamstring to let go. Nicely done. Both legs straight to your degree. Maybe you point your toes, maybe you don't. Just take one breath into this nice, easy fold. Good job. Come to a comfortable seated position, whatever that means to you. Let's go palms up on your thighs. Seal your lips, going back to that diaphragmatic breath if you lost it. Inhaling from the belly, the ribs, finally the chest. Softening and lengthening your exhale. Continue at your own rhythm. But I'd like for you to lengthen your exhales every single time. So your exhale might be even twice as long as your inhale. Telling your body to be calm, to be relaxed. Telling your body that it's safe. Your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them up. Send your hands up to the sky. Inhale, smile again because you made it, you did it. Rolling out the hands and the fingers and the wrists on the way down. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me today for this Move Your Asana class. Hopefully you feel stronger than when you started, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.